What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. We are live here on a Friday morning on DSM-Media's Philadelphia YouTube and Twitter channels. Guys, first and foremost, the same way we start every show off, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, specifically our Twitter channel. And while you're there, make sure to check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you to all of our social media pages, specifically the YouTube channel. It's the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up on the screen here with your host. I'm one half of them, Dylan Davis. To my left today, my faithful co-host, Scotty. This can't be right, Scotty. 2 victory shows in a week. We had a victory Monday, and now we have a victory Friday here on the Phaithful Phanatics Show. The Eagles take sole possession of the NFC East heading into what's going to be week 12 now. They take down the Washington Commanders last night, 26-18. We're going to break down this game, give our takeaways, our positives, and just a very, very exciting eventful night, my man. But happy Friday, and what's going on?
Yes, very happy Friday. It was fitting to be miserable if we did not come away with that victory based on the first half. That was completely miserable. But I guess like there's 2 sides to that, right? Like the first half struggles, but I guess we just have to trust that the good things are coming in the second half, that they'll make the adjustments. Is that coaching? Why do they come into the games? Let's wait a minute. We'll get into the game here in a second, man. I'm excited. You can see that I'm excited, man. I'm not looking back on this game. I'm not looking back on the division. I'm not hearing the conversations about they've played nobody anymore. I'm not hearing any of that anymore. Not hearing Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing, the Saquon Barkley overpay. Not hearing that. Like, we can go down the list, man. But can I just say something off top, man? I've thought about it all morning. There's a lot of contenders for who I just come away with most impressed by in this game, right? Like Saquon Barkley obviously was a monster in the second half. The whole game, though, honestly, when they gave him the ball, he was eating the whole game. He just wasn't touching the ball as much in the first half. But Zach Bond, I thought, had a great game. Even though it was like one of his lesser games for the season, in my opinion, he still had a great game. Jalen Carter was a monster. Reed Blankenship comes up with the interception, so on and so forth, right? Quinyon Mitchell, man, that is the guy. Like I like this was the one, and I don't know, like maybe I just didn't see him directly against Jamar Chase enough in that matchup with the Bengals. I don't know what it was. If maybe Jamar Chase, it feels like he played in the slot a little bit more, I guess, when we played them.
Yeah.
Seeing him match up with Terry McLaurin, man, like that matchup, and just seeing the way he moves out in coverage, the way he guards 1-to-1 and man-to-man. Quinyon Mitchell, man, just impresses the hell out of me. You've been raving about it all season, and I've been right there with you, man. But I do give the flag to you on the Quinyon Mitchell, just like the way we've been talking about him. But I'm right there with you. He just continues to impress. He's not letting up. We're waiting for like that one receiver that like gets by him and makes the big play or scores the touchdown or wins the game against him, and it's just not happening. I'm starting to build a significant amount of trust in him and this whole entire defense, man.
Yeah, I was going to say the entire defense gets fucking caps off to them today, man, because obviously the Commanders come away with 18 points, but let's really talk about where the last 8 came from, right? You're talking a 16-point lead with less than 2 minutes. The defense is sitting back, like whatever. So ultimately, you held a team that was averaging almost over 28 points per game to 10, essentially, the whole defense. But the Quinyon Mitchell thing, man, you do wonder, especially when you're watching on TV, right? Because you can't see the all 22, can't see what's always going on in the secondary. Yeah. And when you see the numbers, like they're just not throwing at him. So you start to look around at the other receivers and the other corners, and you go, all right, well, is that because, Slay's getting beat and they're picking at Rodgers or they're picking at Maddox? Maybe that's why. Dude, the film, the clips that have come out of him following around Terry McLaurin last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
They just can't throw his way.
Yeah.
They can't. Dude, there wasn't an inch of set. He was mimicking Terry McLaurin's route on his hip over and over and over again. This is a kid that has now played 10 professional football games, dude. 10. Didn't go to a major school. Didn't go to Alabama. Didn't go to Oklahoma. No. Toledo. That's how special this kid is. Cooper DeJean, the exciting whites showed up last night. Reed and Cooper DeJean.
I love it.
Awesome. Slay had a couple big tackles, man. Zach Vaughn, Kobe Dean, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat. The entire D-line created pressure on Jaden Daniels. They sacked him only 3 times, but it felt like they were in his face much more than what those numbers tell you, man.
They made him pay.
This was fucking awesome. Because, Scotty, here's the main point. The Eagles came away with 26 points, and they really left, 7 on the board because of Jake Elliott missing 2 field goals and an extra point. So the Eagles should have had 33 points last night. The offense did come alive in the second half, but it's been a talking point all year. This defense has continuously bailed out the offense early in games. And, man, they did it again last night. I kept texting you. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. 7-0, we can't score. 7-0, we miss a field goal. 7-0, we miss another field goal. I'm waiting for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders to go put their foot on our throats and go up 14-0. And then you're in a pretty big hole, and maybe that quarterback has a lot more confidence. Maybe the crowd is deflated, and you just can't crawl out of that. The defense never let it happen, man. They were so fucking good last night. And I'll tell you when the game changed. The 4th down stop. The 4th down stop is when that game was over and when the Eagles were just not going to lose. When Jaden Daniels rolled out to his right, it was kind of a botch snap, and Darius Slay and Zach Vaughn came up and made the big tackle. That's when the game ultimately was like, all right, it's Eagles takeover time, man, and that's what they did.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Obviously, the Reed Blankenship. It looks like after that 8-point drive that the Commanders had, like, thank God, Reed Blankenship got that interception, and then Saquon got the second touchdown in 20 seconds. By the way, like, that's insane as well. There was a play Nakobe Dean made in the first half as well, man. I just saw the comment about tackling. He like squared up on Jaden Daniels and got him on the ground for a 3rd down stop.
I think
I was like, man, like, what is going on? The tackling.
It was open field.
I
thought for sure Jaden Daniels was going to make Nakobe Dean miss.
Because Nakobe Dean even went the wrong direction, and he still turned them hips and got in the right place to make the play, man. Guantanamo Bay, man. It's just it's ridiculous
so good,
on this defense, the way they move around. I got to commend Vic Fangio, man, getting it all organized. Like, that's what it comes down to, because we've talked about it. This is the same scheme.
And I owe him an apology.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we were questioning him highly at the beginning of the season. Come to find out, it's just Devontae Maddox. He's the fucking problem. Like, that was it.
They couldn't stop the run. They weren't creating any pressure the first couple weeks. Maddox was playing because Cooper DeJean was still coming off the injury, and they looked like a mess. And I said, hand up. I said, I just don't think this is a defensive front or a defense that you can win a championship with. Boy, is it looking like I'm wrong. And that's why last night was so important, not only for them to win, not only for the offense to get it going and put up pretty big points, and for the defense to show out the way they did, man. I might have called him Devontae Maddox. But it was important because
Smitty dropped
it puts an end to the you've played nobody.
Yeah.
It should put an end to it, and if it doesn't, I don't care about your opinion anymore because your opinion's irrelevant. Because you dismissed the Jordan Love game, you dismissed the Joe Burrow game because the Bengals just aren't very good. You dismissed all of it. Oh, well, they've only played like Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush. Yeah, what they do to your Rookie of the Year last night? What they do, Mr. 2 interception on the entire year. Got in a hole, didn't know where to go. Was seeing ghosts. You remember that throw he put on Noah Brown's ankles? That would have been a first down on the cross. Right his ankles because he was a little unsettled in the pocket. Yeah, that kid. 191 yards, 22 of 32.
Third interception of the year.
By the way, I think 8 of those completions or 10 of those completions went to running backs.
Yeah,
if not
8
more.
To Austin Eckler alone. Eckler had a hell of a game, by the way. He was their best player on offense, quite honestly.
Right.
That was about it. I mean, Ertz decided to give us something at the end, right? Yeah. I'm just looking at the box sheet now. Brian Robinson, man, that dude does run tough. He's annoying. Yeah. He does break tackles. I'll give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels was getting rocked out there last night, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like Jalen Carter started it off. I watched Baldy's clip of Jalen Carter just like all night moving guys, shifting guys out of the way, getting wherever he wanted to on the football field. And he started the game with just like just a shoulder, but like a lunge with it too, and just like threw Jaden Daniels to the ground. Just set the tone. It sets the tone, and that's what these guys do, man. Nolan Smith coming from behind him, setting the tone. That sack got me out of my seat, man, and that's the type of plays this defense is making right now, and it's across the board, like you mentioned.
It's all right now. The thing that I've been most impressed with, and I'll include obviously last night, is all 3 phases are now starting to put it together. Right, because a couple weeks ago, Cooper DeJean gets the start in the slot, and you're starting to see the impact these 2 rookies are having on the secondary, and the secondary is playing well. And then about 4-ish weeks ago, Nakobe Dean starts to join the party next to Zach Bond, and now it looks like you have 2 good linebackers.
Man.
Oh, my God.
Hater, dude. Hater, man.
Hater.
The refs did not give us anything last night.
Didn't Jalen Hurts get his face mask pulled and then his head literally thrown into the dirt?
And that ghost foul on Cooper DeJean.
Oh, my God. Well, they did that, and then the very next possession, Devontae Smith gets underneath of his helmet.
Yeah, the helmet, the face mask.
And here's the bad part, man. It's why you can't tell me things can't be reviewed. You have their own rules expert, their own person
or whatever
in the booth.
Yeah.
And on both plays, he gives the opposite opinion of what the ref
disagreeing.
Did. Like, that's how bad it was, man. And here's the thing. You threw the flag for the Smitty helmet grab, which is essentially the face mask, right? Like, you threw the flag. You didn't miss it. You threw the flag correctly.
Yeah.
You then gathered, talked it over, and picked it up.
Bro, it was at number 24, the ref. Number 24, because one, he was looking directly at the play as Smitty's face mask is getting ripped off. He went over to the ref that threw it, and he tells him, nah, he didn't grab the face mask, right? He made that call. And then on the next drive, or maybe it's the same drive, actually, Jalen runs, right? He's on the sideline, and he gets the first down, and they mark him 2 yards behind the first down, man. It was the same ref that was looking directly at Smitty getting his face mask off.
Here's the problem with the spot is, like, so when you watch the replay, it looks like his right foot, like, almost, like, went out of bounds. So I'm thinking, like, oh, maybe that's where he thought and, like, marked him out. The issue is he didn't mark him there. He marked him, like, 2 yards ahead of where the foot was, but, like, 2 yards behind where the ball was. He was in fucking no man's land.
Yeah, it made no sense.
No clue. And then they show the replay, and the entire place explodes. And it's like, all right, dude, like, speed this thing up. It was a quick review, obviously, and then they fix it. All right, but listen, we talked for the first half of the show about the defense, and rightfully so. Now let's talk about how the Eagles came away with the win. That 2-6 is a bad motherfucker, dude. You talked about it all game.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
All game. Saquon Barkley in the fourth quarter. 6 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11.3 yards before contact per carry. Over 11 yards before contact per carry in the fourth quarter. He housed like a 27-yarder and a 40-yarder in like a 2 or a minute and a half span to put the Eagles up by 16. Oh, my God. Thank you to the New York Giants. This man is so fucking good, dude.
He is, man. He is. It's crazy to think DeAndre Swift came here, had a career year, right? Miles Sanders. Look at Miles Sanders now, dude. Like, all due respect to Miles Sanders, he had a career year when he was with the Birds. But, like, this 1,000 yards feels completely different. And it is, because it happened in what? 10, 11 games now?
10 games.
8-2 right now. 10 games. We're at over 1,000, right? He's getting he might be at 1,100 already, man.
Like he hit 1,000 like in the first quarter.
Right. He was already in the 990s to start the game.
Yeah.
It is crazy that a running back can be that good. And on top of those 2 runs to basically close the game, he also had the 43-yard catch to get us into the red zone before that as well, man. He makes plays, bro. And the thing is, you just keep giving him the ball. Like, it can happen at any moment. It doesn't matter if he gets stuffed for 1 yard on first down. If you give it to him on second down, he could take it to the house. And, I do get frustrated with, like, the way they use him in the first half. And maybe that's what it is, too, is, like,
I know.
They wait to the second half to really lock in and use Saquon Barkley. And I get the strategy because the defense is wore down at that point. Saquon's fresh at that point. He comes in and he's running faster than everybody on that football field, man. It's
no one likes to critique play calling more than I. And we sit here and we go, it's not that hard. And we say things. Good thing I'm not an offensive coordinator because Saquon Barkley would have no knees because like I'm sitting here like kind of frustrated in the first half. The man got the ball 26 fucking times, 28 total. Like the man got the rock. But it just didn't feel like it in the first half. Like good thing I'm not calling plays for the Eagles.
I feel you.
The ball 48 times a game, and we wouldn't have a running back for more than 5 weeks. So it is funny. It is a good balance right now, man. It is a good
28
balance.
touches last night, right? Because he had 2 catches and he had 26 carries.
Yeah.
So 28 touches last night, and I'm sitting there getting frustrated when Gainwell's coming in after he makes a big play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to put this stuff into perspective and understand.
You do. I think, you know what? I think some of it does have to do with timing. Like, I do get frustrated. They'll come out. Saquon will start the drive, and they'll go pass, and then he'll come off the field, and then Gainwell will be on the field for 3 snaps in a row. And it's like, well, Saquon didn't even touch wasn't even involved at all. So that, I guess the timing of it, or like when they get inside the 15, like, why is 2-6 not in the game? But you can't complain. I mean, dude, Gainwell was very good on that one drive last night. Very good on that drive last night. I believe it was the one that led. Did it lead to the tush push or did it lead to the field goal to make it 7-3? I can't remember. The one where we kicked the field goal at like the 3-yard line. Whatever it was, Gainwell was involved on one of those drives. But yeah, dude, like Saquon Barkley is so fucking good. And I know that's like just the most obvious statement in the world, but it is to TR's comment right here. It feels like this to me, man. It does. And the crazy part about it is AJ Brown's not Terrell Owens. I think T.O. is a top 5 wide receiver of all time. He's not that. But you already if you're you already have AJ Brown. You already acquired that level acquisition 2 years ago and you went to a Super Bowl. Now you got your hands on this man. Like it's crazy, dude. It's so much fun each and every week. It's a blast to have him on my fantasy team as well. So that's always a positive. But holy shit. Can we just
acknowledge like Eagles 26 points? Like that's modest, right? For what they've been doing. Like they didn't even hit their over on team total. A lot of that on Jake Elliott. Let's be honest about that. We haven't really touched on him just yet. No. That the offense didn't even play good last night, man.
No.
It didn't even play good, and still, this is the product.
Dude,
that we end
3
with.
Points with 3 seconds left in the first half. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They should have finished with 33. That's unbelievable.
You get to the end of the game, though, and Jalen's, 18 for 28. 221 passing yards, no turnovers, a touchdown on the ground, 39 yards rushing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get to the end of the night and it looks pretty solid. Like, that's a middling game for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But it's still solid.
Yeah. I think that's the point, though, right? I think that's when we get excited about this team's ceiling. That is the ultimate point. The offense didn't play well. The special team screwed this team over in the first half. Braden Mann with a bad punt after Elliott misses a field goal. They go down 7-0. The offense isn't great. Jalen did not have a good game, specifically the first half. Like, Jalen was missing reads. He, took a couple hits, took a
was
sack.
He concussed?
The pocket, the clips.
Yeah, like, was he concussed? I don't know. I mean, he did get hit hard.
I mean,
a couple times.
He was wearing those shades on SportsCenter at midnight, so just might be. But like, Jalen wasn't good, or wasn't that good last night.
Yeah.
And the special team, blah blah. And Scotty, that's the point. They still won handily against the 7-3 division rival on a short week. That's the point. So when we sit here and talk about the ceiling of this team and can they compete with the Detroit Lions or the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs, the answer to me, we have to see it. They are going to play the Ravens soon, but the answer to me is yes, man, because this is and you have a top 6 quarterback right now in Jalen Hurts. That's the way he's been playing over the 6-game winning streak. And he wasn't even good, and they should have scored 30-plus points because they have A.J. Brown, because they have Saquon Barkley, because they have that offensive line, because they have Devontae Smith, because they have that. Like, they're so loaded. That's the ceiling, man.
And I don't believe teams like the Ravens have a defense even as good as the Commanders. And I don't believe, like, the cool thing about the Eagles' schedule right now is that we got this, like, first test, the rookie quarterback, but Jaden Daniels playing at, rookie of the year level comes in, right? Now you get to go on the road to the Rams, take on Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Now you get to test that secondary even further, right? Yeah. And then the following week, you get to test your front seven even further when you get to go against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. So you're getting every test that you could ask for in this regular season, in my opinion. Whereas it's not as strenuous as last season's was, but it's a good thing at the end of the day, right? We're still getting the tests. We're just not getting as many of them, I guess. But I'm excited for this team.
But I think that's why winning last night was such a big deal, man, because you do have a tough stretch coming up. You are now on a 6-game winning streak, and I just want people to understand that, like, the Eagles are not going to finish the season 15-2. It's just not going to happen. They're not winning out, right? So, like, they're going to lose games, and yes, they might lose on Sunday night in LA, or maybe they win that one, but they lose to the Ravens in Baltimore. And then people are going to say, well, see, they can't beat a team with a good offense, or they can't beat. No. It's just called they're not going to win 9 straight games. Yeah. Like, especially when they've done it the last 2 years, when they've gone on these, like, even though last year the memory is so bad, they started 10-1. So they've gone on 8, 9, 10-game winning streaks over the last 2 years. It's not like now they're
it's not the goal to, like, win 15 games in a regular. It would be cool, whatever. Be great to go into the postseason like that, right? But I do think this, right? And I think that's where the thought of why should we lose another game this season? Who is more balanced than the Eagles? Like, offense and defense. Then you go to the offense and running the ball and passing the ball. Right. You go to the defense, run defense and pass defense. Who is more complete, more balanced than the Philadelphia Eagles? The Detroit Lions are a great team. They're a great team, but their defense is not as good as the Eagles. The Ravens have great offense.
I'm going to take it a fucking step further. Look, Ben Johnson has them on an elite level, and they were elite last year, and they're elite this year. I get it. Pound for pound, I'm not saying I'm taking the Eagles, but I'm not just taking the Lions' offense over the Eagles' offense.
Oh, no, I completely agree with that. No doubt. But even if you call them even.
Look at me like I'm crazy.
If you call them even, the defense of the Eagles is still better than the Lions. So at default, the Eagles are a more complete team than the Lions, in my opinion. You look at the Ravens, it's the same thing. Like, the offense is great. Like, you can call them even, sure. They don't have an A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, or I guess they have a Dallas Goedert. They can have that. But call them equal, sure. The defense, once again, the defense is that card, right? That trump card that you pull out that it differentiates them from every other team. You go to the Chiefs, obviously, they have a trump card as well, and his name's Patrick Mahomes, right? So that is ultimately, you want to get to the Super Bowl, you want to win the Super Bowl. But, man, I'm looking at this team, and I'm I saw Joe DeCamera on X this morning, and he said that Jalen Hurts could hold this team back.
That's the point, though, man. And I have seen tweets coming to the defense. Like, I think that's what I was to bring in the Lions, right, in this conversation. Like, so Jalen Hurts can hold the Eagles back, but Jared Goff can't hold the Lions back. All of a sudden, like, Jared Goff's been very, very good over the last 2 years. He's found a home in that Ben Johnson system. Do not get it twisted, okay? But all of a sudden, like, what? Jared Goff's even a top 10 quarterback, like pound for pound, just as a quarterback. Yeah. Jared Goff, top 8. The
5 interceptions doesn't matter.
Jared Goff on primetime just threw 5 picks, but his team wins, and it's called, like, heroic, right? So Jared Goff can't hold the Lions back, but all of a sudden, and again, Scotty, I like to point out, so what I was talking about with the Eagles Commanders is there's already history when it comes to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yeah.
What Super Bowl did Jared Goff take the Lions to where he went toe-to-toe already with Patrick Mahomes? He may do it this year, but he hasn't done it. Jalen Hurts has. And now all of a sudden, Jalen's this big question mark, but Jared Goff is this fucking hero in Detroit. That part makes no sense to me, and that's why you can't tell me the Lions are just some better team or some better offense than the Eagles.
Maybe a better question is, what team is built better to beat the Lions? What team is built better to beat the Ravens?
Right.
Right? What does that mean then, right? If the Eagles are the best built team to beat those teams, then what does that make the Eagles? I don't know. I'm asking for outside opinions right now because I'm getting very high expectations, man. I'm getting back to where I was coming into the season. And I'm trying to balance out right now. I'm trying to balance out right now. Yeah, the Birds. Yeah, that's such a great comment, Abe.
He's back. Welcome. We're back. We're all back, brother.
Yeah, they're so back, man. It's so wild.
We only have about 7 minutes left. Scotty's got to get off. We have a shorter show today for a meeting, but I do just to get it in. All right, the Eagles. We got our celebration.
Yeah.
Top 3 team in the National Football League right now. I don't care what you say.
No,
yes. Martian, let me know. Get your frustration out. Let me know what you're not happy about. Barry Joel Embiid. Why?
Sixers are getting that dub tonight, Martian. They're getting that dub down there in Orlando tonight, Martian.
I want to ask why. Am I happy with how the fucking season? God, no, I'm not.
He wanted to play on Wednesday too, right?
Now he sucks.
Oh man,
because he
love you, Martian. Love you, man. But come on,
I can't get the words out for him today. I can't. Why? Because he looked like a guy that hasn't played basketball in weeks and months. Yeah, that happened.
This is the game, right? The second game back. This is the one where he eclipses 20 points, and
I do want to say, man, I saw a tweet from Sean Barnard, and I think it's important because, again, it's very hard to find many positives with this team right now. They are going to get healthy. Like I know that sounds like we're living in fantasy land. They are going to get healthy. We're 11 games into an 82-game season. It's mid-November. We play till late April or into May. Okay, relax. Yeah. They are like 3.5, 4 games out of the 4 seed at the moment. That's how bad the Eastern Conference is right now. And I do, to Sean's point, when it's more important right now, seeing how Jared McCain can play in this league. and seeing Yabusele. And then when they get like that, that's like I know we're grasping at straws. Like, oh well, McCain looks good. Who cares? They're 2-9. Yeah, but they're gonna be healthy. And you add Jared McCain to the mix. You add Yabusele to the mix. Question marks we didn't have answers to before, and I think that's the point. So,
I can't come to this conclusion
Martian,
yet.
Martian, he played one game.
Yeah,
and he played one like 24 minutes.
He's had whatever limits, right? He wanted to play on Wednesday. The medical staff didn't let him. Like, he came out and said that to you.
No, the defense of the Sixers is that Joel Embiid has played one game. And I get how that can be part of the argument for the other side, but he's going to play basketball. Like, he's going to start playing basketball now. The issue is he came back on a night they had a back-to-back. We all knew he wasn't going to play against Cleveland. And, of course, he didn't look good against the Knicks, and they lose the game. So now everyone's in a fucking tailspin. Joel Embiid is going to start picking up basketball activity. Paul George is no longer on a minute restriction. Tyrese Maxey is going to come back in a few days. They are going to be okay. The defense isn't just because the field is bad. The defense is that the Sixers will be good come December, come January, come February.
So because you were hyped for this year and didn't have real expectations set when you hear that Joel is starting the season with a knee injury, you didn't have your expectations correct, right? We were all excited. I'm still excited for when Joel Embiid comes back healthy. I'm still excited to see Embiid with Paul George, with Tyrese Maxey. But we can also be excited that now you can add Jared McCain to that conversation. You can add guys like Yabusele. Caleb Martin is starting to look a little bit better.
Yep.
Look at Paul George the other night playing with Joel Embiid against the Knicks. I get it. It was an L. Embiid was not even close. He's not even 75% in that game.
And I just want
Paul George is dropping his season high.
I know you're pissed off. I know
you're upset, sucks, man. Like, that's just disrespectful. Like, that's
you have to realize when you say
Joel Embiid does not suck.
Like, what does that mean?
You sound like Shaq, man. That's what's bothering me.
Like an MVP of 2 years ago. That's
crazy.
The scoring leader of the last 3 years. Yeah, dude, I am with you, but that has nothing to do with Joel Embiid.
Right.
And again, that's not like they shouldn't lose those games. We said that the morning after both of those losses because the Sixers, even without Embiid and Paul George, you have Tyrese Maxey. You should not lose those games. It's just, I don't know, Scotty. Like they're going to be okay. Like they just are. Like I don't know any other way to say it. Is it the most disgusting thing to watch live night to night? For sure.
I can't say that they're going to be okay because I need to see Embiid be.
Well, they got to get health
assumed. I'm just accept that they're not going to be a good basketball team without one of the best players in the world. Like, I can accept that. Like, when he's healthy, they will be good because he is that good. Look how much better. Look how much easier it made for everybody else when he's on the court.
Correct.
And he's not even close to himself, man. So let's get him out on the court tonight against a lesser Orlando team than what the New York Knicks are, right? Doesn't have to chase Cat around the perimeter. Doesn't have to, do all the shit with Josh Hart crashing the boards and shit. He can do a little bit more on offense tonight. Maybe focus on that a little bit more, and maybe he looks better. Let's just give him a chance is basically what I'm saying. Like, former MVP, let's give him a chance to get with the team and get integrated. Let's just see what it looks like, man. Like, let's just relax a little bit. Like, if we get this W tonight, and then who do we got next, man? Because I'm telling you, I've already laid Sixers money line tonight. We're getting the W. We're going to Orlando. There's no Paolo Banchero. We're getting the W tonight. Then on Monday, we go to Miami. So we're staying in Florida. The boys are going to have a good time. We're going to Miami on Monday, and we're taking on the Heat.
We're plus money?
Yeah, we're plus money against the Magic tonight. Yeah, it is interesting. It's interesting, and I get it because the Sixers are 2-9. I get it. But there's no Paolo Banchero. There's Embiid. There's Paul George.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with
Everybody's
you.
Everybody's for the Sixers outside of Maxey. So
I'm all over the money line.
Yeah.
I don't care if Joel only plays 22 minutes. No Paolo, and they're going to win. Look, I know we got to get out of here. Scotty's got to hop on.
Damn right. You're damn right, Martian. You're damn right.
You guys with this thought. The Sixers are going to win tonight. The Eagles are the most complete team in the National Football League. And the Phillies should trade Alec Boehm and sign Alex Bregman.
Let's go.
I'm going to leave you guys with that thought. We'll be back.
Matvey Michkov.
Torch is pissed right now, dude. Dude's got like 3 game winners in like a week. He's got a shootout winner. He's got the winner in OT last night. Mitch Kaufmania running wild.
Let's go. Sixers time to get on the wagon, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We will be talking to you guys on Monday. 23 and a half. Yeah,
I love marching.
Man. I think he bounces back.
Yeah.
No Tyrese Maxey, no Andre Drummond, no Paolo, no Wendell Carter Jr. So
let's get
big
this
game.
done.
Let's go win a ball game. Guys, for myself, for Scotty, don't forget to follow and subscribe specifically on the YouTube channel. And we will be talking to you guys Sunday on Turf Talk, Monday back here on the Phaithful Fanatic Show. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out. Happy Friday.